What is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Mind of a Savage. I'm your host, Felipe Savage. Today's a great day. Uh, had an amazing past weekend playing the Halo Infinite technical preview, is what they said it was called. This is not a beta. This is something you get invited to if when you opt into the flights over on HaloWaypoint.com. I'm going to be talking very thoroughly through. I played about 20 hours. I did about four-ish, 5-ish hours every day that the technical preview was live. So this is 20 hours of my experience, of my knowledge. I went in depth with a bunch of things, and I'm going to let you guys know here. Um, First and foremost, there's gonna be more flights. If you guys do want to see when I do play these games live, we're gonna be do X Defiant very soon. We're gonna be doing Back for Blood as well very soon. Over on my Twitch channel, where guys can find that over at twitch.tv/Felipe Savage 15. Yeah. So let's get right into it. Halo Infinite technical preview, multiplayer preview, to be specific. We got a lot of points to talk about. I didn't know how I wanted to format this cast. If I wanted to do everything all together or do it in sections, but I thought that the best way for you guys to get my thoughts and my ideas behind some of the things they're doing is best to break it down piece by piece, section by section. So first and foremost, the day before the beta, not the beta, the tech test, um, they gave us a preview. They basically told us what's going to be inside of the preview, and it was quite a lot. It was, I'm not gonna lie, they really showed us more than I thought they would, especially on the very first flight. Granted, only 100,000 people got in. They said this is going to be one of the more smaller ones. That every flight from here on out is only going to grow in size. So let's go into it. The style that they had this tech test, and this is something I think that was very smart by the team over at 343. The style in which they released this tech test was really good. They used a bot system, and the bot system fared from medium all the way to Spartan difficulty, being the quote unquote veteran mode. If you guys have played any sorts of bots throughout I don't know, the years that you have been playing any sort of game, um, yeah, so the bots went from medium to Spartan level over the course of the 4 days. So day one, it was medium bots. These bots were, I would say, in a scale of 1 to 10 to give you guys an idea of actual scaling. I have it written down here. I would say 4 out of 10. The difficulty in these bots. The bots had they actually did pick up power weapons. If you are familiar with Halo, the Halo franchise, the power weapons, they did go for the power weapons. They'd hit certain shots if you were not strafing. You know, if you were standing still, they would shoot you back. I seen maybe in my matches against these bots, if scores to 50, which it was in the Halo Infinite tech test, most matches would end like maybe 50-10, give or take. And that's a very generous 10. Most maps really went like 50-5. It was mostly just our team, which the users team or my team was filled with other players. It was just the people we were playing were bots, AI, so to speak. And I think that this system was very well put together, and I really want to talk about this more in depth of how well this would do for new players. Like if they use this system just for um like a leveling guide, just to have new players that are coming into the Halo franchise, not having played it, because we're all not Halo babies. So there's going to be players that just started playing video games when Fortnite came out, and moving from Fortnite into like Halo, it's very, very, very different in terms of skill, in terms of the way the game plays, and how you have to play with your team. Very different. So I think that this was very well did for even the tech tests, for even the players that haven't played Halo in quite some times. I didn't even play Halo 5. I played it very early in its life cycle, but maybe 4 or 5 months after, I didn't play anymore. So it's been 5-ish years that I have not played Halo 5 until more recent, when I knew about the tech test coming out. Uh, that being said, immediately when I knew the tech test was coming out, I started playing Halo like no other. Maybe every day I'm putting in 2 3 hours of practice, trying to get my shot down, trying to see what game like I can familiarize myself with that's close into resemblance of what Halo Infinite could be. And I will tell you right now, I'll give you guys that later on in the cast. So back to the system, the bot system. So day one, medium bots. They were 4 out of 10. Day two, ODST bots. This is like your intermediate level, I would say, if I had to, or even expert. No, intermediate. Intermediate is good. Intermediate level, and those were pretty much, they did everything that the previous bots did, but they had a little bit more movement to their selves. They didn't really pick up on shots as well as maybe a live person would. So you're again just completely um destroying this team of bots. It maybe went like 15-12. I seen a 2 kill difference and what the bots were producing. So you got to really have enough engagements being alive, and this really helped you get your precision down over the course of the weekend. It really helped you familiarize yourself with bots that are now throwing some strafing in there, throwing some jump shots in there. So that was good. Come day three, uh, they were Spartan level bots, the hardest bot difficulty inside of Halo Infinite, and day four as well had Spartan bots, but they did mix in an hour or so of PvP play. I'll get into PvP a little bit more down the road. The Spartan bots, I would say consistently in my games, about 15 kills. They would get to our 50. Again, they just produced just a little bit more movement in their own play. They teamed up a little bit more, so that was good. So you got into more 2v1 situations if you were caught away from your team. But ultimately, you can still do enough damage to really win those situations. But again, if you aren't familiar to the Halo franchise, if you haven't been playing Halo, they're definitely going to do damage. I think that again, having played some Halo prior to this really helped me get down my aim quickly. I noticed that one thing that was really good about when you were playing the bots is you got to see after the match something that not a lot of games give you, which I think is a huge plus in Halo Infinite, and they should keep it throughout the life cycle of Halo Infinite. Is they show you how good your shots were. They give you your accuracy for that match, and I noticed during the bots, I got really more around that 50% shot, uh, 50% accuracy. So which was very good compared to some other players that I've seen. You know, but that being said, uh, the Spartan bots were, if ODST bots, which are the intermediate, the Spartan bots would be the veteran side of it. Um, so I ranked them all, the very beginning bots, the starting bots, day one, gave them 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, and then 5.5 out of 10. I didn't see a big difference from the ODST to the Spartan, but I did see a slight difference enough to give it a whole point to the Spartan bots from day one to day two. So that was good. And again, this bot system was very well put together, especially for this first tech test, because I really thought it through. Because at first, of course, you want to play against other people, you want to see your skill, you want to see how good you are, but it being so long that they have not released a new game, and how much different this one does feel to compare to like previous Halos. It was really good system that they went with the whole, we're gonna start them off slow and they'll crank up more and more as the weekend goes on. I think if I didn't play any Halo prior to Halo Infinite Tech Test, I would have probably, not done as well with my accuracy, not done as well with a bunch of things, because Halo has a way of shaping you up when it comes to gameplay, because it's something like, in Call of Duty, you get to be able to really solo some maps. You could really just go out there and just get 900 kills, and then uh, you win the game by yourself. With Halo, it's really more fundamental. Like, hey, let's shoot this guy together. Let's work together. It's very team oriented, especially it already being 4v4 style. The 4v4 style of Halo is something that's classic to Halo, and in the Halo Infinite like tech test, it was again 4v4, and it just felt really good. Like because I always wondered like how Halo would be if it was 5v5 or 6v6. And yeah, you got big team battles, and yeah, you have all those other like multiplayer modes, but just the core 4v4 is just so well in Halo, and I hope that never changes. Moving on over to the way they cycled maps into the pool. They kind of did it the same way as the bots, as they cranked it up more and more, as they gave you more and more maps, ending off the weekend with 3 maps. Those maps consist of Live Fire, which was the first day uh, of the tech test, followed by Recharge, and followed then after by Bazaar. These maps, I would say none of them were my favorite. I like them a lot, but I don't have a favorite out of these maps. I would, if I had to say which one I like the most, it would have to be Recharge. I felt Recharge was one of the more like fun maps. It was the map in the trailer where the samurai threw a grenade at the energy sword and caught the energy sword midair and then slices the guy. So I think that that's why I liked it so much. They started off the weekend with Live Fire. Live Fire seemingly looks like the more competitive of the 3 maps. It was a nice 3-lane map. You had levels. You had your ups, you had your downs. Very good map where like callouts can be very easy. They had like dummies on one side of the map, and they had like a control room on the other side. So it fit very well into something I would consider, hey, this can be a competitive map in Halo Infinite moving forward. Bazaar, they ended off with Bazaar. Bazaar was something that I said was very, very fun in a public setting. But once it got to PvP, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, I want to go in depth with Bazaar. But just taking Bazaar for what it is, it's very good map. It looks very well designed aesthetically, but I think it falls in certain areas, and we'll get into those in a little bit. But the style of the maps for all 3, I started to see after day 1 and day 2, okay, they really want for engagements to happen mid map. They really want you to control the middle of the map as much as you can. Recharge had Invis, the bottom mid of the map. They had like a lot of open area mid map. So that was very fun in a player versus bot scenario. But when it came to PvP, and let's talk about that 1 hour or 2 hours that they had of PvP, where I started to know some of the bad sides of maps like Bazaar. Bazaar, if you guys haven't seen anything on it, I would recommend you guys go like just see a walkthrough. There's probably tons of walkthroughs of the maps already on YouTube. But if you don't know, I'll try to give you guys as much information as I possibly can, so you guys could probably picture in your mind and in your card ride wherever you are right now. Think of a map that is a square. Now there is a box inside of a box. That's basically what it was. It felt like, because if you went middle of that map, you were like fish in a barrel. It was so easy to really finish somebody if they went inside the mid of the map, because majority of the players always spawn like this outer ring. If I had to say what map it reminded me of from previous Halo games, I couldn't even tell you, because it would it reminded me more of a Call of Duty map, of everything. Like that's the vibe I got. Very Call of Duty ish style map. But again, it very well designed maps in the sense of um, like how it looked and how it felt in a public setting. Like, and I get it, not every map is going to be a competitive map. Some maps are just there, for the pool. But yeah, that map I was kind of disappointed in because of how it played when it was PvP. Again, player versus bots, where you were just shredding these bots. So you can go in that middle section of the map, but once it became a PvP setting, it was like you are 9 times out of 10 not going to get out of that middle area if players are spawning all above you, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, they cycled the maps in very well um, throughout the weekend. The way the bots came in throughout the weekend was very put together as well. I like that hour or so of PvP at the end of the tech test. It made me feel like okay, you know what? The next flight that happens, I can see it be more PvP based, because they are going to allow more players. And from what I was reading and what I saw and heard them say, is that these bots also take a load onto the servers that they have. So if those were doing well, which it seemed like everything was flowing after the first initial go around at the tech test, I see no reason why they can't do it for the next one. Maybe they want to pace themselves, and which is all fine. The more time that they can put this one together, I really do think that 343 has a huge, huge, huge success on their hand in Halo Infinite. Now let's talk about I would say the pre preview um shenanigans, or like Madhouse, Mad Dash, that was on the Halo Waypoint website. Like that site crashed so much, like the day of the the initial release. So that Thursday, it was just nonstop. Halo Waypoint is down. We apologize. We're gonna give you guys as many updates as possible to let you guys know when you guys can hop in. Me myself personally, I wasn't too upset about this. I seen a lot of people were. They were saying they took off, and they want the game, they want the game, they want the game. I just felt like if it's everybody stuffing themselves inside of one door, like, and then those guys are complaining, hey, why we can't get in? I'm like, dude, just everybody take their time, let the first wave in, then we all get in. It felt like people were Black Friday shopping. It was that crazy, like on the outside looking in. And that's how I have to really, for you guys to understand what was going on that first day, especially like on Twitter, on Instagram, on the site itself. It really felt like Black Friday. Like everybody was mad dashing to try to get their key. Which again, you know what? Content is a thing. People want to get that content out there faster. The first person to get the content out there, the more views. I get it. That was fine. But it started getting to the point where these people were like, "Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad." When it's in itself, it is a tech preview, so things are going to mess up. And if you sign up to something knowing that it's a preview, hey, and they literally told us things are going to go wrong, But it seems like we have a community that is based on having a successful game, and everybody's willing to put in their part. And I just felt like the community kind of like dropped itself for a little bit there, beasting to try to get in, but we regained, and that was good. So everything ended off very well. Let's talk about the academy, which is another way that 343 is allowing new players to learn about their game, learn about their guns. Because one thing about Halo, if you've played Halo in the past, if you're going to play it in the future, Halo has very unique guns, very unique recoil patterns, and the way the game plays with every gun is so different than like the one that you just had. So if you're using a pistol, pistols plays different than the assault rifle. The assault rifle plays different than the BR, and so on and so forth. There's not very much similarities in these guns. When I tell you that, like when it comes down to like how the gun ADS is, how the gun feels, it nothing feels the same, and that's something that's so wonderful about Halo Infinite. And I got to shout out 343. They did a phenomenal job with the guns that they showed us. Now, was every gun that's in Halo Infinite inside of the Academy on this tech test? No. But for what I can say is that I tried out every single gun on every single difficulty inside of the Academy. The Academy is a firing range of sorts, something to get you to learn these guns and the recoil patterns. And you have bots that are maybe standing still on the lower difficulties, strafing on the higher difficulties, jumping on some ones and crouching in others. The guns felt phenomenal, and I really can't stress this enough. Like the BR felt very satisfying. The battle rifle, so to speak, if you don't know about Halo, the battle rifle was really really good. The commando was very well put together. It felt strong. It felt like you needed to learn the recoils of that gun. Um, the pistol felt really good. They went with a different style pistol, and I thought at first, wait, doesn't feel like Halo 5. This doesn't feel like Halo 3. But then you start to realize that, you know what, maybe not every gun needs to feel like that. Not every gun in the game needs to feel like, hey, this is definitely Halo 3 pistol. This is definitely Halo 1 pistol. I think that what they've been saying has really been coming together. This is more of a celebration of the Halo franchise and what they want to do moving forward than it is, hey, this is exactly Halo 3 again. Because for all that, you go play the Master Chief Collection. Am I right? Am I right? Come on. So the Academy is another way to get players that are young to the game and young in general to, step up their game, so to speak. I felt like it was very good and like giving yourself a score. So you try to attempt to break that high score again and again and again. And these are some things that maybe in live action the bots don't move the same, but it gives you a sense of, okay, you know what, this gun's recoil pattern is like this. Okay, if this guy's strafing this way, I have to adjust like this. So it was very very well put together. um Again, guns felt very smooth, something that I didn't think was going to happen in the tech test. I thought that the guns would be like wonky and feel very like skittish and not all there, but it was very much there, and most guns felt powerful. The commando felt powerful. When you picked it up, you felt like you were shooting shots. You got kick from the controller if you have vibration. I felt kick and I'd have vibration off, to be honest with you. So it's all about how you learn the game. And I think Academy being introduced in a free to play game that maybe you don't want to just hop into PvP and get destroyed by people that have been playing Halo for what, 10, 15 years, 20 years, excuse me. um you maybe want to just start off slow and get to learn the guns, and that's the introduction there, and I think that was very well. um this tech test did have a battle pass. It went all the way to level 30. You did not get to save anything from the battle pass, so I didn't think too much on trying to complete it more than I just wanted to see how the battle pass progressed. I thought it was very different than other games because this one didn't go off of how much experience you are getting in these matches, more than how many challenges are you completing in these matches. So if you're completing challenges and you're doing what it say to do, it goes fairly well. But now let's say if you don't do the challenges and you're just playing matches, it's not going to progress your battle pass. I think I played in the 20 hours I played. I must have played over 50 something matches because I did play a lot of Academy too to get really in depth with some of these weapons. And I would personally say that the battle pass felt like super slow. So, players that are used to like Fortnite Battle Pass, Warzone Battle Pass, and so many other battle passes where they do convert like time played in a match into some experience towards your battle pass, this one did not. And it was very weird at first because I'm like, man, I'm playing all these games, but I'm not progressing. What am I doing wrong? And then I noticed, hey, well, you got to get 5 kills with the assault rifle. Me not being so strong with the assault rifle, I then had to start to use it. And again, it wasn't ridiculously hard because it's again bots. But if you didn't pick that up, you could have been like me and been on tier 2 the entire weekend. Um, so I do. That is one of my things that I do hope that they allow for you to carry some of that experience in the match. If you do very well, you get some experience towards your battle pass. At the end of the day, there's a grind that's to be had with these battle passes, and I understand every grind is different, every game is different. But personally, I do feel strongly about the fact that if I play a game, that I should be rewarded something towards my battle pass progression. You know what? Like don't over give me experience because I'm playing matches and not doing the challenges, but still give me something, on top of me doing the challenges. I could go on and go on about the tech test. It was again phenomenal. I appreciate 343 for letting me get in. I did get in on the PC version. I seen that they allowed a lot of people from different platforms, and when I mean different platforms, I mean like the Xbox One. Then you had people on the Xbox One X. You had people on the Xbox Series X and S version, and then you had also people getting on the PC version, which is what I got in. Um, Now, the thing about how I got in is through Steam, which I thought they would do it through like the Xbox app on PC. They actually did it through Steam, which was pretty cool. I thought that that's good, to know that it's going to be free to play on Steam. I know a lot of PC people are very Steam heavy. They want everything on Steam. That's their go-to place, which hats off to 343. They did that. That's cool. More on the actual Halo Infinite experience, I will say that the PvP. Let's talk about the PvP. Let's talk about like when we actually playing players. It didn't. It didn't feel like it was difficult to play against other players, but you can see who's teamed up and who's not very quickly because people are like playing very close together and thing. And in Halo, that's all it's about. And if you don't do it, you're doing it wrong. So it was very easy to pick those people that were playing together off, like in the sense of, okay, this team is playing, this is a 4 stack 100%, because you're just seeing how they just ran through the opposing team. But maps like Bazaar that didn't feel too good in PvP, I started to realize, okay, you know what? There's mistakes on some of these maps, and design wise, that I hope isn't drowned out. Like these maps don't get drowned out because of how they play in the PvP side of Halo, which again, maybe we just have to get adjusted to it. But me and some players we were playing with, that I was playing with, we just felt like, yeah, man, you get into that mid map on Bazaar and PvP, and it's we'll see you respawn in a couple. It just felt like fish in a barrel. Bazaar had to be one of the more like, again, it looked beautiful. It played beautifully versus the bots. Just when you play PvP on that map, you are going to see what I'm talking about if you are on the opposing side of, you know, pushing that. And because it came, me and the few players were talking about it in game. It's like, and to be honest with you, we're the team that was dominating, right? The other team kept going in the mid, and we kept just thinking like, you got to stop going down there. It was just like we were just killing them left and right. And the opposing team didn't know didn't know that, hey, this is not the spot you want to be in. Especially they didn't get it until we were up almost like 40-10. So Bazaar being one of the more like maps that you got to keep your eye on, that maybe they tweak a little bit. They fix something here or there. I don't know. I hope that they maybe place the power up items in different positions. Um, so that's a perfect segue into talking about the power up items. If you didn't know, Halo is moving away from the loadout system. They're moving away from just having OS, which is overshield, and invis, which is invisibility. They're going and they're pushing more things out, like the grappling hook, which was phenomenal over this weekend. I think something that's very great for content creators and very good for just public play in general. They had the sonar, which was another fun item. It reminded me of the sonar dart from Black Ops 4. I don't know if you guys ever played that game, but if you did, that's kind of basically how it was. It was very good. It all these items worked as they intended. The only item I didn't get to see over the weekend was the reflective shield. I know that's something big that everybody's been talking about in the Halo Infinite scene. Like, oh, the shield he in the trailer he reflects the noob combo very well. So I didn't get to see that one, but every other one was really good. The drop shield was something that provided you protection, but you have to play that earlier than later in a gunfight. You have to set up with it more than try to engage and then use it during a gunfight. As to where the grappling hook is completely different. Like you can use that during a gunfight and sway a gunfight into your favor by by fast movement and getting around your opponent. I think that all these items were phenomenal and well put together, and they worked, I believe, as intended. So that's gonna spice up excuse me, I was about to say Call of Duty, Halo in a very very good way. I think that is a positive for Halo. Introducing these other power up items. OS Overshield felt very well. That you very good, excuse me, that you can basically activate it whenever you want and not just during a fight, like not just immediately, on pickup, because it really put myself, like I remember using it. I didn't have to go out and immediately rush the other team because I have Overshield. I sat on it and waited until me and my team got into a big gunfight, and that I hid behind a wall, popped OS, and then engaged from there. So they're they're showing a lot of man, what's a good word? Variety of ways to play Halo now. And it's all up to you. There's a lot of things that are going on here in just this first tech test. I think the next one is going to be even more jam packed with more weapons. They're going to fix things and bugs that were in this one, um, which I know that there was people that caught on a few bugs. The movement in Halo Infinite, and I'm gonna say it right now before I do end the podcast. Movement is king in that game. If you can move and you have decent aim, I think you're gonna be able to beat somebody out that has really good aim and has bad movement. I felt at times if you can um like really harness that ability to move around the map with the slides and the power slides and the G slides and all these slides that people are creating all over the Halo Infinite community. um you're gonna be unstoppable come release. So again, look out for the next tech test over at halowaypoint.com. Make sure you opt in on PC if you have PC, on Xbox if you have Xbox. And don't worry, because I want to be honest about this. I seen people stream on Xbox Series S compared to some people streaming on PC. And the Series S actually looked more optimized for Halo Infinite than the PC. So, they do have FOV sliders. They have all these graphical settings, but I guys, I don't quote me on this, but it looked really good on Series X. So hey, take it with a grain of salt. It's been what 35 minutes of just nonstop talking Halo. I hope that you guys are excited because I am excited. I think 343 has a banger on their hands. Um, it's all gonna take how they end like the flights and how they begin the launch. I hope that they can get this inside of more people's hands that opt in as soon as possible. Because I do think that the next tech test will be like PvP based. Again, don't quote me on this. This is me just giving speculation, my ideas. But it was great, man. It was great. I think this tech test out of 5 stars, I have to give it a 4. And you're gonna say, but hey, Fee, hey Savage, why not 5? I think that the 5 is because it wasn't more PvP, and that's big. That's big to me. I think that a little bit more PvP would have been good. Maybe the last day because it was 4 days. Maybe the last entire day PvP. But hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, and I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know: have a good day, have a good night, get going because I know you got this. Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.